Hello everyone, and thanks for coming back to the channel. Today we're taking a very quick look at the Eachine Tyro89. Why is it so quick? Because it doesn't fly. Before we get to the troubles, a couple highlighted items about the build. I don't know if I have this build right. There's no manual for it. I put it together how I might assemble any old quad where I get a frame and I slap the components together, but you may find some things that you would do differently, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. So this comes with these 1204 motors, and they're 6,000 kV, if you can read that there. And these props are not gem fan props. Note this little hump right here. A genuine gem fan, that hump is different. See if I can get two in the picture together. See how these props just have a bigger hump there? They look very, very similar. Also, the tip on the gem fan, if you can make that out, is much more pointed. It's a lot more muted on this one, so that's a difference. We also have a 4-in-1 ESC that is very much specific to this frame, as the connectors and everything's kind of flared out for this. This canopy, I do approve of this canopy so far, even though I haven't flown it. I did land upside down a number of times in my attempts to try to fly it. It held up. We've got this kind of clunky 25 milliwatt VTX out here. I used one of the zip ties, and you get a whole bunch of zip ties in the kit. I used a zip tie right through here just to give it some extra stability and a little bit of heat shrink. That did it up for me. I also did the zip ties down here for my receiver. It does not come with a receiver. That's something you have to plug in your own. You can see my XM Plus antennas coming right through there. It does have the Caddx EOS 2 camera, which is a pretty good camera for micros. These standoffs here, these are rubber, and to mount things up, you kind of have to cut them. They give you like 8 of these in various heights, and I think it comes in this height. As you can see that little cut that I've got there. There's 2 pieces here. There's a little piece up top. Again, I don't know how good that is or how bad that is when you fly it, because, it can give you some flex. I've got it fairly well secured down. They do have metal screws in here, but the real problem with this is I can't fly it. You get runaways, and I've tried all sorts of different things. I tried just the PID tunes. I lowered the P's and the D's all the way down to like single digits. I tried flashing Betaflight 4.1. It came with BL Heli 16.7 on it. I went ahead and flashed it again just in case. I missed with the I missed with the filter settings, turning the filters way up to try to see if that would help in Betaflight 4.1. After flashing the ESCs, I also changed the motor timing. I changed it down to lower. I changed it up to medium high and to high. No impact. I changed the startup power up 3 notches and down 1 notch. No impact. I changed D-Shot from D-Shot 150 to 300 to 600. All the same. And after fussing with this, I'm kind of done. I don't know what else I can do to try to make this thing fly. There's something inherently wrong with either mine and the components in here. Hopefully all the other kits that they're probably shipping out don't come like this, but unfortunately this is just unflyable, and I can't think of anything else to try other than to start swapping out components, and then it doesn't matter because then it's a complete custom build. All it will do will start, you're fine on the ground, as you've probably been seeing in the DVR that I've been playing, but as soon as you start to increase throttle to where you get just about to hover or a little over hover, it zips up and flips out and falls down. And that's why I kind of think this canopy might be pretty robust, because this canopy has probably taken about 24 hits from not very high, of course, maybe 3-4 feet tops, because I would disarm it right away, because it's very, very easy to tell that it's just going to oscillate to the moon. And that's something that we haven't seen in a while. We haven't seen a lot of quads that have the problem where they try to oscillate to the moon. Actually, runaway kicks in and then kills it, so technically I'm not disarming, I'm telling tales out of school. Runaway will kick in and stop it from flying off, which is a good feature of Betaflight. It saves us a lot of heartache and heartburn. But it just doesn't fly. I guess I can weigh it for you. How about that? So as I have it put together, it weighs about 75.5 grams. And the frame is 3 millimeters thick. And the reason why I have these gem fan props out is because I initially thought that was the easiest thing to start with when it started flipping out, was to try some genuine props. I thought maybe these props were just terrible out of balance, and that was causing the problem. But I don't know what's causing the problem. I can't solve it. If I get another one and it flies, I'll sure take it out and rip it around in my normal fashion. But unfortunately, I'm a little bit concerned. Actually, I'm very concerned about the components and if we have something else going on. I just don't know what else to try. I've been through all sorts of settings, and it's a pain to go through the settings. Also, that's something I should highlight, is see how the USB port is lined up with that post. Every time you want to access the USB port, you're got to have to take this out. And that's not a big deal, but it's been a big deal for me because I've had to go back to that USB port a bunch of times. They do include a right angle adapter in the kit, which is a nice gesture, I guess, but it won't work. It's not long enough. It's not in the right position. I kind of have my doubts of whether this was actually components that were ever assembled and flown. But again, if I get another one, I'll put it together and I'll give it another try. But at this time, I have to warn you that maybe you should pass on this until you start to see a bunch of videos of these flying successfully. And maybe someone will figure out the trick. I haven't. I've kind of reached my limit on what I'm willing to try. I've lost a lot of time on it, and I'm just going to move on from here. But if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please let me know in the section down below. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.